What's up, my fellow anglers? Today I'm going to show you how to upgrade your SLX DC. The tools I'm using are PH00, flathead screwdriver, 1/16, and then Phillips screwdriver 1, and then Abreu Garcia oil and grease, and then we're going to use tweezers, and then we're going to use these special speed spool tools, and then we're going to use a wrench, 10mm and 11mm. And then of course, speed spool itself. Then later, I'm going to show you how to upgrade your drag using Carbontex drag system. Alright guys, we're going to take off the spool's tension. Before we do that, we're going to take off this so I could get a better view from the camera as I do this. So you're going to need a PH1 screwdriver. You're going to take this off. Now this might be a little rough if you just bought this because they put Loctite on it. Alright, so once we get this off, we're going to take off the nut. Alright, once we get that off, this is your nut. You're going to need a wrench that has a 10 or 11mm, and then you're going to go reverse thread. Wait, am I doing? Yeah, okay. Reverse thread this way. So it's going to be to your left. And once you take this off, you're going to want to be careful with the handle. There's the little spring that makes that clicking sound. You don't want to lose that. If you don't like it, then lose it all you want. Alright, so that's the top. The reason why it sticks like that is because of the grease. Where is my point? Right here. This is the little spring I was talking about right here. This is for your clicker. Alright, so you pull this off very carefully. Set it to the side. And this is your spring. I'm going to set that to the side. Now we're going to get to this, the spool tension. You're going to unscrew it. And there is your bearing. Right here. Alright, so when we get to the bearing, right here is going to be a spring. Be careful with it because it will shoot out too. You don't want to lose that either. And there you go. When you get the spring out, you're able to get the bearing out. And then just lightly tap it, and there's your bearing. And then we're going to place it with spool speed bearing. That one is a ball bearing. So basically what you do is you're going to do reverse. You're going to stick it in there. Make sure it's all in there. And then you're going to put the spring back in. Now, when you put the spring back in, be careful. You don't want the spring to go behind the ball bearing or anything else like that, because it would not work. So, like that, if you hear a click, then you're good. Just go ahead and put the cap back on. And then there you go. You got your first ball bearing back in. Okay, we're going to take the side plate off next. Here's the lever. This is closed. this is open. You're gonna slide downwards like that. Then you're gonna pop it off. And don't drop it. Alright. You got 2 screws here, and then you got a screw right there. You're gonna need your PH1 for this one. You're gonna unscrew it. Once you get that unscrewed, you move on to the next ones. And that one, you're gonna be using PH00. And you're gonna screw this, and then you're gonna screw this. Okay, so once that's unscrewed, you're gonna take that off, set to the side, and you're gonna flip it upside down. Alright. Then, I'm gonna take my handy dandy tool right here, and we're gonna pull it out like that. Once we get that out, put that to the side. We're going to take this plastic rubber piece off like that, and then we're going to take this off, and then we're going to pull this out. Alright, so once we pull this out, there's a bearing. I mean, not a bearing, but a washer. Take that off. Get this bearing out, and we'll replace it with a new one. And it's going to be that one. And then you put the washer back on top, like that. Now, what you could do is grease it if you want, but you don't have to. Just push it down, make sure everything's all flush, and then you're good to go. Now I'm going to get my tweezers. I'm going to show you this. How you can see it. And this side up like that, and you drop it in, and then you drop this one in, and then you put this back in. And there you go. Then you put this back like this. So that side goes that way. Where the description is, that's how you could tell. Alright, then you put the big one, big screw, like that. And then you get your PH1 and screw it back in. And then you get your PH00 and put the other ones in. Now these are different. I thought they were both the same, but just push it in. If it goes in with ease, then you got the right side for it. If it doesn't go with ease, just switch it around. You don't want to screw up the holes for the screws, because if you do that, it won't be fixed. It won't work properly. So, and then you're good. So we're not going to put this back on until later. Alright, so next is we're going to take out the spool so it won't be in our way. Once we take out the spool, set it to the side, and we're going to come back to this right here. Alright, so we're going to finish unscrewing this nut. This is your drag nut. Okay, so you have a washer right here, okay? You want the copper side to be facing down, and you want this side to be facing the nut. So it's going to look like that. Alright. Now you got, let me get my tweezers here, 2 of these washers. So, let's see if I could get it. They're going to be kind of bent. I don't know if you can see it like that angle or that angle, but they're kind of bent inwards. So once you get that out, that one, and then this one. So the bottom piece, doesn't matter which one, you put it like this, and it's going to be bent towards the ceiling. The other one is going to be bent towards downwards on top of this one. Alright, so now we will get back to that later. Alright, so you got a screw here, you got a screw here, and you got a screw here, you got a screw here. So we're going to take off these screws. Now, when you take these screws off, make sure you keep this pressed down because there's springs in there. Alright, so if you have if this is brand new, you just bought this and you doing this yourself, these screws right here are going to have Loctite on them too. So we're going to take them off, and you might have to put a little pressure on if you just bought it. Alright, now so we're going to flip it over, keep this pushed down. I like to hold it like this so it could be pressed, and then once you get a good grip of it, you start taking these screws out. Alright, so the back ones are different from the front ones that I just took out. I'll show you in a second here. Okay. So I'm going to set this to the side. Make sure the top doesn't pop off. Alright, so look at the threading compared. Not only this one's longer, but the threading, it's much smaller, and this one's much bigger and wider. So make sure you remember these are the front and these are the back. Alright, so now we're going to take the top off of this one. And we're going to set this one to the side. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the drag system. We're going to take the drag off right here. But before you do that, let's take these springs off. These are the springs I was talking about. They sit right here. Like that. Take both those springs off, and we're going to take this off. Alright, so we're going to replace this, put this to the side, and we're going to use the new drag one. Make sure you grease this up. So I'm using Abu Garcia grease. It's a kit. You could buy it, or you could just buy disc grease itself. You're going to put grease on. Oops, that was wrong. You're going to put grease on this one, and you're going to want to make sure that you have enough grease on it, because I cleaned my other one and it wasn't working right. The drag wasn't tightening at all. So I looked on Shimano Reel website, and their documents were talking about that you didn't either have enough grease or you put oil on it. So we're gonna pretty much put it like that, and then we're gonna take the sprocket out. I'll put it to the side. Now you can re-grease the sprockets, but you don't need to. All right, I'm gonna set this to the side. Then we can get a better view of this one. Okay, so we're gonna take this cap off like that, and this is what we're gonna replace. So you can just use your finger. There you go. We replaced it with the new one. Now these are Carbontex drag system upgrades. I'll leave a link in the description where you could buy these at. They're really, really cheap. They have them for any model reel and stuff. So what this does is, yeah, push it in. Makes your drag system work longer. So every time you use your drag when you're out fishing, and then you store your fishing pole, you're going to weaken the drag over time. And what this does, it extends the life of the drag without worrying about untightening your drag. So alright, we're going to set this to the side. If you want, you can keep them together like that, because they're going to stack on top of each other. Alright. Next, we're going to take these off, and then we're going to remove this. Where's my pointing tool at? So we're going to remove this, and then there's going to be a screw here and here. And then we're going to remove these screws here to get to another one. So we'll do this one first, since this is just pick it up, and there you go. Alright, so now we're going to unscrew this one. And again, you're using your PH1 screwdriver. Oh, here's Speedy Gonzalez on this. Alright, so once it gets loose enough, you can just pull it out with your finger, like that. And these have Loctite too, so if this is a new reel, you're going to want to put a little pressure on it to undo the Loctite. Alright, so you're going to take, let me get my other, you're going to take this piece off right here. Alright, and then once you take that off, you're going to set it to the side, and this is your bearing, your next bearing that you want to take out. Once you take that out, you grab the new one, and if you want, you can grease it. Basically the grease is just gonna keep it in there, you know, make it stick. Yeah, push it in there. And if you want, you could oil it too. If you're gonna oil it, make sure you get in between here. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's fine. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is put this back together so we won't forget. Just put it the same way you took it out. Because we're gonna be done with this, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right. Okay, we got one in. Now we gotta get the second one in. And then Is it going in? Yep. My hands are all greasy, so making everything feel weird. Alright, so next we're going to take these off. We're going to take this one off and this one off, and we're still using the P1 screwdriver. Alright, so we're going to unscrew this. Ooh, okay. Almost lost that screw. Try not to lose the parts, guys. That one doesn't want to come up. There. Alright. Put that right there. Alright, so next, let me get my pointer here. We're going to take this off. There's going to be a washer under it, and then this is the bearing you're going to replace. So, yeah. We're gonna try to take this off. Let me get my. You can use a flathead screwdriver. I use 1/16 of a flathead, and it seems to work pretty well for me. So, you don't want this to fly off. If you lose this, your reel is considered non-operational. So, put your finger there. I don't know if you guys are able to see me exactly, but yeah, there we go. Put that to the side. Don't lose that. Alright, I'm gonna grab my handy dandy tweezers. And then I'm going to take this off. You guys are wondering where I get my tweezers. Just order a cell phone repair kit, like a really good one, and you would be able to get these tweezers and basically the screwdrivers that you need. Alright, so you take that off, you replace it with a new one. Like that. Alright, so these are ball bearings, that's why I'm replacing them. You could re-grease them, or you could oil them. I have plenty of grease on my hands, so it's all good. They're getting re-greased and oiled. Alright, so you're gonna put washer back on, and you're going to put this bad boy back on. I am not sure what this is called, the clamp or something, I'm not sure, but yeah. Alright, so basically you're going to push it back on like you pulled it off, and yeah, I'm going to have to get my fingers in this. You probably won't be able to see that at all. Make sure your washer stays in. This washer is a pain in the butt, man. No, I'm trying to keep you there. Not. Yeah. Okay. Pretty much like that. Let's see if I could push it with my. There, you guys can see something. There we go. So once you get that in, it should look like that. And if you want to make sure you got it in right, let's put it back in and see if it fits flush. And it looks like it fits flush. So it would be like crooked, something like that, if you didn't do it right. So I'm going to put that to the side. And then we're going to take this off. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our flathead screwdriver, our trusty flathead one, and we're going to pull this one off the same way we did the other one. And then just like be careful, take your time, because if you lose these parts, you're pretty much screwed. You're just gonna have to go buy a new one. And yeah, now where did it go? It shot off. Oh, okay, cool. Whew. Alright, so we're gonna take this off like that. Where's my pointer at? Right here. So there's a bearing right here. This is what you call a ceramic bearing. There's nothing wrong with it. They're supposed to last longer than metal, but if you want metal, then go ahead and replace it. So I tried tapping this out just to see if it comes out, and it doesn't come out. So we gotta turn it over, and this is another one that we gotta take off. So this one is going to be taken off real easy because I took it off a few times and it really hasn't gone back on. So yours is you're probably going to have trouble with. Alright, so you're going to push this in. Make sure you don't lose that little copper piece. You're going to push it in. Keep it pushed in. And then you're going to pull on this side. Come on, I did it earlier. There you go. And you're going to pop it right off. Oops. So yeah, you're going to keep it like that. I'm going to use my tweezers to show you. You just pull this right up. And then you grab your other one. And then there you go. You got yourself another one. And you're going to put this on. And then you're going to put first, I don't know, this one on. Like that. The same way that you took it off, you're gonna put it back on. Where's my flathead here? Let's see. What makes it really difficult is they spin real easy, so that's why you're just like. But yeah. So if you don't want to do this, just go to your local reel care, and they could do it for you, or you could just order the parts and then send your reel in to Spool Speed. And they'll do it for you too. Alright, so that piece is in. So you just push it back in. And you work on this side. And obviously, the little copper piece fell off. You just put it back on. And you're going to have to keep your finger on the other side there so it would work better like that. Alright, so we're going to do this one. And we're going to put it back in. like that. And I think I know why now. I think this was bent too far out. That's why it comes out easy. Well, it still works and it's still there, so as long as you don't lose it. Well, for me, I'll try to bend it back later. Alright, so now you're good to go. And then what we're going to do is put it back together. So, you guys know how to put it back together? Because I forgot. Ha, gotcha. Just kidding, guys. Alright, so we're going to start with this piece here. Let's put it back in. Get your screws. Remember what the screws look like? They look like this. Nice and silver and shiny. Alright. Screw that back in. Yeah. No, we're over here. Way over here. You get that. And I'll move over here. And up. Yeah, make sure you get it right. And there we go. And then there we go. And then we start with this piece right here. We'll put that back in. And you know, as you're doing this, you guys could redo the whole greasing if you want. These things are pretty greased, especially when they're brand new, so you don't really have to worry about it. But if you want to do it, then go ahead and do it. Alright, so we're going to get your drag up and running. So this is your sprocket. You're going to push this down, make sure it's flush, like that. That evens out. And then you're going to put this on. And then you're going to put this on. And then, let's sound like that lady from Dude, Where's My Card? And then, alright, I'll put the springs back on. Alright, so now we're going to go back to our cap. This is our cap. So this is what you call a bearing. This is like a 2-system bearing. So you're going to pull this out. My fingers are slippery, so I'm having trouble. And then you're going to even it out. I see the holes right here. Where's the pointer at? Right here and right here. These are going to go right into it. So we're going to drop it and it fits flush like that. Just make sure that spring don't fall out. Super glue the spring. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so these are bearings too. Let's see here. The inside right here, make sure you don't lose any of those because it won't work. And let's see here. Alright, so we're going to put it in like that. Alright, so it should fit flush. And once it fits flush, you're going to keep it pushed down like that. So once you keep it pushed down, you're going to grab your front screws. Once you have your front screws, you don't have to keep it pushed down as much. But me, I like to keep it pushed down the whole time until I get all the screws on. So, alright. Alright, and then there I go again. And then so Justin Royal, if you ever watch my videos, you know what's up because you do a lot of movie reference too. Alright. So we screw that in. Alright, so we turn it around. And like I said, I like to grip it like that so I can keep it like that. So let's see if I can give it a good view. Alright. Now, let's see which side was what again. Was it this one? I think so. So the reason why I get it backwards is because I have a right one and I have a left one. So the right one is basically everything backwards, and then the left one is everything forwards. Crazy. Alright. So that one's in. Give you more. The long one right here. Like that. Alright. And now, you're pretty much good to go. So at this point, you're going to get your spool, this right here, and you're going to put it in. So once you put it in, you're going to put this back on. Alright, so let's see. It's on right? No. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now if you're having trouble, if it doesn't go up like that smooth, come back over here on your spool tension and back it off. I did that a couple of times and I was like, it's not going in. So, yeah. Once you do that, it goes in nice and smoothly. You flip that on, and then we're going to get to the handle. Alright, so I learned this trick from another YouTuber that does this for a living, and he tells you to push this down, your button, keep it pushed down, and then put these on. Let's see here. Yeah. Alright. So you put that one like that. I'll like the guy's channel. He has a better explanation on these little rings right here. So, but yeah. Okay. So those are in. Like I said, that the curve that goes inwards, you're going to want one facing up and you're going to want the other one facing down. And you're going to put your little copper washer here. And then you're going to put this on. Alright, so basically you just finger tighten this. You don't have to get a wrench and tighten it all the way. Just finger tighten it. Yeah. Oh, what was that? Alright, so yeah, like that. And then now we're going to put the spring back on. And then we're going to put the cap back on. Okay, so now be careful again, guys. This little doohickey right here. Now it's just a pin. It's a spring pin. What you're going to do is be careful and let this whole thing shoot out. Now this will go flush like that. So you might have to spin it a few times. Then we're going to grab the handle here. And then we're going to put it on. Like that. Whoa, you see that? And we'll shut up. Alright. So now you want to check that everything is flush, and then you're going to put your nut on. Alright, so don't tighten it up yet. Make sure if it has a little give, then you're good. See, you're good. Just keep doing that. Okay, and then you get your wrench and tighten it. I like to tighten it a little tighter than usual because I don't want it to fall off on me, fall apart when I'm fishing. Alright, so we put our cap back on. Make sure the cap is flush too. If it's not flush, just either tighten it or loosen your nut until it's flush. And then you get your screwdriver, and then you screw that on, and you're pretty much done. Next is you gotta check your drag to see if it's right. If not, then you're gonna have to redo it all over again. Alright, so you could spin it like that and see how it's moving. So you're just going to keep tightening it until see how hard it gets to move. Just keep going. Just keep going. And it barely doesn't even move really now as you keep tightening it. And then that's how you know it works. And then you are done. So yeah, if you want to oil it, just take the side off and oil the bearing that I showed you here, and then oil it right in here, and you're pretty much good to go. You don't really have to oil anything else. And then you just want to make sure you can oil this too. I already oiled a bunch, so I'm not going to do it. But other than that, you are done and you got yourself in the grave.